And I was like, okay, I'll be here 2 years, and I'm going to hop to New York, go back home. And I could not get Memphis out of my system. I never even reel together to go anywhere else. I just stayed. I didn't want to leave.
Hey, this is Mike Hobday, and welcome to another episode of Memphis, Mike and Friends. Today we've got a young lady that you've seen probably on your TV many times over the years. We have Miss Kontji Anthony with us today, who's does a lot of neat things around town, loves her city, has a business she's involved in. We'll talk about that. But just come across her, she's a podcaster as well. So just got her hands in a lot of different things, very busy lady. So appreciate her time today. But we're just looking forward to hearing from her next on Memphis, Mike and Friends.
Welcome to Memphis, Mike and Friends. Mike and his friends will take you on a journey along memory lane while at the same time discuss current events in and around Memphis and the Mid-South. We will talk Tiger sports, the Grizzlies, and just about every other relevant event in our area. But not just sports. We may ramble on about almost anything. Along the way, you'll hear from Mike. You'll get to know all the friends and meet a lot of interesting people along the way. Here we go with another episode of Memphis, Mike and Friends.
Yeah, I've got Miss Kontji Anthony with me. Hey, Kontji, how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fabulous now. Yeah, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about your childhood.
Okay, so I grew up in New Rochelle, New York. My mother is a Mississippi native. And so that's why when I got tapped to do TV broadcasting in Memphis, that it was like coming home for me.
Okay.
And so I was supposed to be here for 2 years, and now it's been 20 plus years. But, it was really awesome. I grew up right outside of Manhattan. So, my school trips would be field trips would be like Radius Hall or like the Statue of Liberty. And so I got to see this really incredible world out there. And then during the summers, I would go to my grandfather's farm in Mississippi. He was Reverend E.E. Spencer, a pastor of 4 tiny churches. So on Sundays, from church to church. And
what a contrast.
Yeah. And so, I just remember the first big old cow that I saw. I was like running on the farm, but they had cows, cotton, chickens, just like a real farm.
Right.
And yeah, so I just had this really balanced childhood. So it was really cool to have exposure to both worlds.
I bet. So what was your interest in school? Were you a bookworm, or what was your desires back then? What were you thinking about?
Okay, well, I was that kid that my mom would be like, go to sleep, because I would be reading, a book, and my dad, he worked so early in the morning, we did have a quiet household. So, but when I was growing up, I did not know what I wanted to do. I would be like, hey, I want to be a computer programmer. And I should mention that I'm actually on a shoot, and that was my photographer opening the door. We literally just finished a shoot, which I'm excited about. So I would like to talk about, which
Sure.
is really great, because we're partnering with Memphis Tourism to share, the real stories of Memphis, which include just some of the amazing things that you can do in downtown Memphis. And so I've just been like rediscovering Memphis.
Yeah.
And it's been really exciting. So
I've interviewed Kevin Kane in the past, so very much up on a lot of that. So it's a great place, and thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we really need to show, just the true Memphis that we know it is.
Absolutely.
I remember I would say, oh, I want to be a computer programmer. And then my parents got me a computer, right? And the next thing I know, I'm playing the Perils of Rosella video game all night. I'm like, that's not programming. And then I was like, I wanted to be an architect at one point. I was the president of our Art Honor Society in high school, but
Wow.
I'm also like a math whiz. So those were like, I was like, I can put my understanding of math together with my love of art. And I mean, so I played tennis. I was on the tennis team, and I wanted to, so it was like, I'm like, which one am I going to be?
Yeah.
And I would just try everything. And then I was required to do a class I don't know, I had like a credit that I had to take for high school to complete, to graduate high school. And then I was like, well, I guess I'll, which classes can I take? And one of them was broadcasting. And so we had a TV show, and I was just like, well, I guess I can just go ahead and do this like broadcasting class, whatever. And next thing I know, it's literally my life's journey. So
Wow.
It's like this one class that was introduced when I was trying everything else. That class that I had to take ended up being my future.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from there, you go to college and probably communications type major?
Exactly. So, studied Howard University in Washington, D.C. has a number of different, like they have a radio station, they have a TV station. So the whole backdrop was there for me to do and learn everything I needed, to be part of this medium. And so I thought I was going to be a writer. And when I ended up getting out of school and graduating, my coworkers, I worked at WCBS in Manhattan. I was like a desk assistant. So the assignment desk is where all the stories get dispatched in a newsroom. And so I was an assignment desk assistant. And, I would go out, you'd see my hands interviewing like then Mayor Giuliani or then businessman Donald Trump. But, you didn't see my face, but I would go out and help whenever they needed help. But then what my coworkers were like putting their own reel together. And they were like, we're going to be sports guys. And you're the overnight girl from midnight to 8 a.m. And since no one's there, you're going to run our teleprompter. I was like, yes, I am. So I'm like, helping my friends at work. And then one of them was like, Shantae Anderson is his name. He said, you need to do your own reel because you should be on air. I'm like, me? Well, anyway, I do it, and I put a reel together, and it ended up where they brought it to their boss, and then I got a job on the air, and it wasn't my plan either. Just feel like God leads us.
Absolutely.
To where
Absolutely. That's amazing because, there's a whole story. You thought you're going toward a technical route potentially. All of a sudden, this one class changes, like you said, your whole life trajectory. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I have learned that when I hear, okay, how do I say this? That you're really not the person behind the wheel. You learn what you need to learn to live in this world, right? But then there's this higher power that I believe is just kind of guiding everything. And you take the steps and you kind of just like,
you follow. And exactly.
Sometimes when you push in the wrong direction, it's not the right place to
go. Exactly.
So I'm letting it happen.
Yeah.
I'm letting it happen.
Yeah, it's following and not leading. And so that's very important. And it sounds like that's what you've done. And the neat thing is it's the most rewarding path you can take. If you went the other route, you may not be as happy as you are now or productive as well.
Yeah, but I remember when I was doing this, there was this director. I was in California, and he was like, he pulled me aside after one of the shows, and he said, you know what? I just don't think TV is for you.
Oh, no.
I really think you ought to try something else. Because I used to have, get really nervous on the air. Really because when I was live, it just freaked me out.
Oh.
And so it was really, I feel like repetition is the most important thing you can do.
Sure.
And not so much, just because you feel nervous about something, it's just something you maybe haven't done a lot. And so when you are able to get the reps in, just don't give up so soon. I learned that, and I didn't listen to him. And then, he's out of the business, but I'm still here.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good thought because repetition is good with anything. I don't care if it's your golf swing or you're doing live TV. I'm sure it's all just as you get more comfortable with it. So it sounds like you took some stops. You were in New York, then then California. What just some of the stops that you made before you got to Memphis?
I have been in, the home of Tom Arnold. Do you remember the actor Tom Arnold?
Sure. That was Roseanne's husband, right?
Yes, Roseanne's husband. Okay, so right after New York City, I went to Ottumwa, Iowa.
Oh, my goodness. Home of Radar O'Reilly.
Yes, I can't believe you know that.
Oh, I'm a MASH freak.
MASH.
Yeah, I'm a MASH freak, so sorry.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Yeah, so I went to Ottumwa, Iowa, and I covered the Iowa, Missouri area. So I've lived in the Midwest, and I was a one-woman band, meaning I shot my own video, recorded everything, edited it, and then you go on air.
Wow.
I would, do my own production and then be on the air. And it was kind of wild, really beautiful country, cold in the winter, hot in the summer, and beautiful sunsets. But then I went to California. I lived in 2 different parts of California. And then I made it. Then I went to North Carolina. So I ended up in Sacramento, which is one of the larger markets in television.
Right.
So meaning a larger audience. But then I was still reporting. And then I got a job anchoring in North Carolina. And so I came back to be a morning anchor. And then I ended up getting, seeking out new heights. I wanted to be elsewhere, and I ended up, it's like you're always like, I used to say, okay, I'm making my way to New York. That was my goal.
Okay.
Right. And
Okay.
so I was in a smaller market in North Carolina. And so I'm like, I need to be in a bigger market because, these, news directors that I'm meeting at these conferences are telling me I need more experience. So I applied in Memphis and I got a job here. And like I said, it was going to be 2 years. And I was like, okay, I'll be here 2 years. And I'm going to hop to New York, go back home. And I could not get Memphis out of my system. I never even put a reel together to go anywhere else. I just stayed. I didn't want to leave.
Now this is so interesting. You probably know Stephanie Skurlock 1,000 times better than I do, but I don't know if she's ever had this part of the conversation with you. She said the same thing when we were interviewing. She goes, I got here in Memphis. I can't exactly remember the way she said it, but it's basically the same way you did, was I couldn't get out of my system. There's something about Memphis that I just couldn't get out of my system. And I stayed here because she had no intention of staying here either. This was going to be a stepping block for her as well. But that's pretty cool to hear. And this is my home. I've lived here all my life. So to hear people say that from other places, as much negative press we get and negative visibility we get, it seems, in the national news, there's so much good here, which is what you spend your time doing and what I spend my time doing on my podcast. And it's just so neat to hear somebody say that. It makes me feel so warm inside to hear people say that. So that's cool. You guys got that in common. You probably know that, but when you said that, I thought that, and when I saw you've been here 17 years, I thought, well, that's a long time for a news person, to be in one market. And we've got a lot of those.
Well, that was before. Yeah, it's been 20.
Okay.
20.
Okay, that's true. It's true.
Because I got here in 2005.
Right. That's true.
So
Joe Birch has been here 50 years, right? So it's like 50 years.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. He's been at one place. And so I'm at WREG and I'm doing lifestyle television. And so the lifestyle segments were on from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Right.
And it's 1 hour of pure, this is the good stuff happening in Memphis.
Right.
That's literally all it is.
Awesome.
And so it just feels so good. And I want to tell you something else. Don't you think it's funny that you're saying, oh, you mentioned bad press, but then the press tends to fall in love with the city and, the press itself.
Yeah.
My friends who have gotten jobs in other cities will be like, hey, I saw, Memphis,
Yeah.
and so they still follow Memphis news. They come back, they miss it. And everyone that I bring here when they visit, they are like, when can I come back? I'm like, get in line, and you can come because I have other people visiting. So get in line.
I interviewed John Burgos. I hope to be name dropping, but anyway, interviewed John Burgos last week, a week before now. Anyway, at the Rendezvous, and we talked a lot about visitors and people who's come there, and just amazing. It's a restaurant in a basement in an alley. Where else in the world? Outside of maybe some third world country or something, amazing. Just think about that. In an alleyway in a basement. It's like, really? That's cool? Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's way cool. You gotta go see it, But anyway, and a guy who's been dead.
I love the way you put that.
And you go to this house, this guy's been dead for how many years? Elvis has been dead now since 1977, and thousands of people will go there every month. It's like, where else? I mean, where else are you going to see that? I mean, so anyway, it's neat. I love the city. It's got a cool vibe to it. I'm a big Tiger fan, obviously. So, that's all fun and stick around with that stuff. But you're right. For him, you can't wait to get back to visit.
Yeah. So it's also, there is a quality of life thing where if I'm in traffic in New York or LA or somewhere else, it will be like, oh, I'm just driving like 3 miles, and it could take you a full hour to get 3 miles, depending on what time of day it is.
Right.
And so it's like, you have to really, you get your time back and your life back when you are here. In addition, the cost of living, whenever I go somewhere else, I'm like, this is highway robbery. And I'm like, when am I going back to Memphis? No, but the cost of living is so reasonable in comparison to other cities. You also have these landmarks. Like, I mean, you have a riverfront, right?
Yeah.
That, it's unbelievable.
Yes.
And it's almost untouched. It's really beautiful. And all the things that you can now do on the riverfront, I have to just stop myself because there's so much to do. There's so much to do here.
There is. And people don't think about, too, just north of here, there's a 14,000 acre hardwood forest called the Shelby Forest, or actually Neiman Shelby Forest is the technical name, that is everything in the world you want to do outdoors. Trails, and there's cabins there, there's lakes there you can go kayaking on. There's a river there, obviously. So I don't care what you want to do. If you're a city person, that's one thing. And how many miles of green line do we have now? I mean, just in bike lanes and all the things that we've done as a city to improve it. And so it's cool. I mean, if you just made a list of all those things, it's probably very long with all the cool restaurants and things to do and places to go. So it's really neat.
Yeah, it really is.
So Live at 9, I mean, that's a daily show. So you got to show up every day ready to go, right? So how much fun is that?
It is amazing. Like, I mean, today, for example, there was like this 10-year-old kid. He's not a kid. Yeah, this 10-year-old young man. But, he's in an art contest where he's helping to raise money for his school, right?
Cool.
And I'm asking him questions, and he's just the smartest little kid. And he was just like, and I said, I noticed on your artwork, you had art, not war. And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, what's better than peace? And I was just like, oh my goodness, who are you? And, there are these moments where, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I am 44 years older than you. And you just gave me a huge lesson.
Oh,
So
wow.
Every single day, I feel like I'm learning from somebody. We have like about 6 interviews per day.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like people are coming in from all over the area to just talk about what's happening. And, we just get this snapshot of the good things happening.
Yeah, a nice slice. Yeah.
Yeah, another, we had someone who was on from one of the hospitals here just talking about how they're doing research and they're doing work with MIT and how, they're helping to, evolve our, the world of healthcare. And so I just, you get to see all the things that are happening quietly, just in this hour, each day, every weekday. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how many people kind of on your, I guess I'll call it staff or team that you guys use to coordinate that show?
You're not going to believe it. It's just 2 of us.
You're kidding. How do y'all get 6 interviews a day?
Oh, I don't even know.
It's a lot of work.
Seriously, Mike, I don't know.
You just do.
Oh my gosh. It's just, yeah, we push the limits.
I guess you do. I need to drink whatever you're drinking because I do once a week. And sometimes it's a feast and sometimes it's a famine, but it's amazing. Sometimes I can get 4 or 5, 6 or 7 ahead. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, it's Tuesday. I don't have anything for Thursday. I drop on Thursdays. But anyways, whoa.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say 5 or 6 people, I was like, and that's kind of what I expected. Two? God, you guys, you don't rest, do you?
I know. And I'm a video editor, so I edit my pieces.
Wow.
And also, if you see pieces on the air, I'm probably the one who edited that. And then I'm also, I leave most of the booking to the producer because, I'm also out recording segments.
Sure.
So there's that. And then editing is very time consuming.
Yeah.
And, the web, there's, web. I haven't had the time for social media that I usually have. So, there's that. But we're just getting it done.
Yeah.
Getting it done.
Yeah. No, on my end, social media takes a lot of time. I'm still trying to build my base up, still and things. So, but I looked at your followers are you're doing tremendous there. Obviously you could have more, but still you've got a good base for sure.
I haven't. Yeah. And I'll be honest, like what's happened is it's very like doing work has really taken most of my time. So when it comes to my social posts, they are very few and far between now. So that was something that I, was able to build. But I try to share like once a week or, like something like that to just try to stay in the mix.
Oh, yeah.
Because I love social media. I love it so much. I really do.
Yeah.
And so like when I get a chance, I'm on there scrolling or, liking and, or sharing.
Yeah. So you've got this company that you helped start, I guess, called, I've been on the app. It's pretty cool. Udl. Did you come up with the idea or did you kind of work with somebody or how'd that come about?
Well, at the exact time of the pandemic, my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Oh.
And so I was in a pickle, like to say the least. I needed to, go out and get, provisions, to like, essentials to make sure that the household could keep running. But at the same time, I couldn't leave my mom because Alzheimer's is a situation where, you can't really leave somebody alone.
Right.
And then everything stopped. So nobody was like coming to people's homes and, I was the caregiver, and so I ended up creating a community to help one another locate in stock essentials. And we noticed that that people were mostly searching for like groceries because, those are expiring items, right?
Sure.
Those are items that you eat. And so while we were helping people, I ended up like realizing I'm like, I can't do this alone. I can't manage this by myself. So I called my 2 sisters who've been in actually our family, our dad had a food and beverage services and manufacturing company in the New York City area. And so, and then my great granddad had a general store, and so we've always been in food and beverage, like since black and white photos. And then, here it was like, I contacted my sisters. I'm like, look, I know, like, can you help me to manage this community? And it's helping mommy get, what she needs. Cause my dad had passed away. And so it was my mom and me. And I ended up, while we were helping people, we realized that they also wanted like assistance from the web and not just people. Like, right. So we were like, people can spot things and help each other and, say, oh, I like this, or, hey, gosh, you should try this out, that kind of thing. But then sometimes we want to search the web. So we were like, what if we found a way to build within our platform a way to search what's online too, while people help each other. And so we built it's like a combination grocery finder and like web grocery search.
Right.
So what's wild is that with the SNAP benefits being cut off, this is a prime time for people to use Udl to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've tapped into some big companies. I mean, you got Walmart on there. and Kroger. How'd you get to them and how'd all that work out?
Well, there are ways that are just public ways to connect.
Yeah.
And we're also working with some other local grocers. But so we are right now, in the next few weeks, we're going to be releasing like Udall 2.0, which has more grocery stores.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So we've had a really great run with finding software developers also. And there is a Memphian who is working on this, and she's a genius. And so we have a newsletter. So we send people out important information they need to know about, what's going on to help keep their homes running. And then you'll see, we just launched the community that we're moving the community off of Facebook and into our community right now.
So talk about that a little bit. How does that work for a community? Would that be like in support of like your mother's situation? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So what it is, we have 34,000 Memphis area people who are helping one another in Facebook. And so we are now migrating our Facebook users to our platform.
Gotcha. So if I want to help somebody, how does that work? Is there a list they put together that they need access to, or how? And then you
you go on. You just in literally about 60 seconds, you can create your own profile. You go to Udall. Okay, Udall stands for YOU.
Yeah.
Plus data, location, engagement. So we're sharing data about groceries together in our location by zip code. We do this all by zip code.
Right.
Okay. And then engagement with one another. So Udall. And so if you go to udall.io, you'll see like at the top of the page, it says community, and you just click on community and you can create a profile in like 60 seconds. And you can start posting and sharing with one another. And then you'll notice also there's in the community page, we have a search where you could search for products in our search engine.
Okay.
That searches grocery stores.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. So
it's all real-time data too, right?
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
Excellent.
And you can filter by price, like you can filter by distance. You can say you only want to spend a certain amount of money. You can build your grocery shopping list there well, so that and we're working to connect the grocery shopping list with the search. So right now you can build your grocery list, but we are now working towards connecting it with the search. So it's like we're in the building stage. We're a startup, and so it's all in the process of happening.
Yeah. I was with a software company for 10 years. My brain is just spinning right now thinking of all the neat things that you're doing and the neat things you could be doing as well that you're, down the road potentially, right? But you need to take that grocery list and push it to your iPhone, right? That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That way you just take it with you, So I'm just thinking, I can always think of 1,000 things for other people to develop, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hello. Come on board, Mike.
Oh, man, fun stuff. But man, that's cool. So how many monthly users? I mean, you say you get 38,000 in the community. What's your usage looking like on the actual app?
So, okay, we are a mobile friendly platform.
Right.
I'm going to share something that is actually that happened to us.
Okay.
That it's not very well known, but it's a situation, and it's actually worth talking about because as we're moving into this tech, we're in the tech age already, we're
absolutely.
there, right? But we're all moving into the point where there's no turning back. Like we are just like, it's just fast forward. Well, when we first built our mobile app, we've built the search. It started with, the grocery shoppers helping each other on Facebook. Then we were like, let's build our search. So we built the search. Our chief technology officer got poached by Google.
Oh.
Okay, so we're like, whoa, like, oh my gosh, we're like happy for you. I mean, 19-year-old Yale student,
Oh, goodness.
really smart guy. He got, and I'm like, you know what, I'm happy for you. Very honest, good person. And so we're like, you know what, you do what you have to do. But the search was built. So we had the search. And so we just said, you know what, while we're looking for our replacement chief technology officer, there's a software company that we hired that where the owner is from somewhere else, but he has lived here for like 20 years. So he came highly recommended. We end up having him, take the search and build the apps. So one is like, you have to understand it's a two-sided market here, right? So there's the grocery shopper and then there's the grocer.
Right.
So the grocer has to have their own interface,
right.
and then the grocery shopper has to have their own interface. So
right.
it was two different apps. Well, we worked with him for like a year, and we finally get everything. We're about to launch, and we look in the Google Play and Apple app stores. And like, mind you, we had gotten our trademark, we filed our trademark, and we had started the motion for our patent. Well, Udall, India appears.
Oh, no.
In the Apple and Google Play stores. And we're just like, I don't even understand what this is. So we have a friend he's from India, and, she went in because you had to have a number from India to, in order to access it.
Right.
And it was literally it was our mobile app.
Oh, no.
There were mobile apps in India. And so, we confronted him, and he said that he had no idea. It was pretty awful. We realized that everything that we had shared, and that, that it had been created and mirrored in India. So we then did more research, and we learned that we're not the only local company that has been impacted by this.
Oh.
So I know you never imagined that this is where this was going to go.
Yeah.
However, the whole issue is that in India, the company that created it is not under his name. So there's no way for any of us to connect him to the companies where the apps are being built there.
Right.
So it's like this really, so I went to an attorney. I was told that it would take like about 10 years and minimum $500,000 to go after this. This took a turn, didn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, we ended up abandoning, we could no longer trusted this person. So we abandoned the mobile app. And then we found, people that we trust to rebuild from scratch everything. So then you imagine that took another year. And so then our next step is to rebuild the mobile apps. But this, talk about, it was our time to strike while the iron was hot. Everybody understood how to use it, that kind of thing. And so this is something that we just didn't let anyone stop us, because even after the pandemic panic settled, we grew by another like 10,000. And so we knew when we started building, so we knew that this wasn't just like a pandemic app.
Right.
And, we have like hundreds of thousands of platform events. So we know that people are using this.
That's awesome.
But it's been like really a journey to rebuild it and to not get discouraged.
Yeah. Software can do that to you.
This is the tech industry. It's the tech industry.
It is.
And then we're members of the App Association out of Washington, D.C. And I was we had like this worldwide Zoom, like Belgium, London, Memphis, just like we're all like from all over the world.
Right.
And, one of the people who shared my story, but our whole problem was that there needs to be there's this thing called oh my goodness, these standards of need to be worldwide when it comes to protecting intellectual property.
Yes. There's so much language in contracts now, and cybersecurity. Right. That's a whole nother level of layer of fun, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, but this was like internal. This was the person making our mobile app, actually.
Goodness.
So we had to protect our users.
Sure.
We threw out an entire year of work just to protect, because we couldn't move forward with it.
Right.
And protect our people. So, but I found out we're not alone. This is how the tech industry is.
The more it matures, the more it gets more complicated. And so this is the way it is, because there's just different levels of threats and different, like you said, IP and all that. It's just very much, that's all you got is a software company. I mean, that's all you're doing. You don't make anything.
Right.
So you got to protect what you own. So, yeah.
And luckily, we have McCarter & English is a worldwide law firm, and they learned about what we were doing early on, and they took us on pro bono, and they are the firm behind,
awesome,
our IP. And so we have filed our utility patent, and they're incredible. They're really smart people. And
That's awesome.
So we're excited to have, and what we did everything right, because we filed our trademark and we were approved. And so it was a matter. The crazy thing was, we kicked them out of Google Play and Apple, but then they were squatting on our name. So we had to, that was a whole other battle to get them from sitting, while it was not out in public use, these mobile apps, they were still keeping the name. So we had to then fight that battle. So it is this is crazy. What is happening? But
just imagine if you could just build an app and have it working. What you had saved so much time and effort.
That's what most people. But it's a good idea, and so we realized this idea is such a good idea that this person was willing to put their entire identity on the line for it. And so that's, we were like, okay, I mean, we're on to something. We didn't want to learn about it this way, but we're on to something.
Yeah. So in its current form, how long has it been out there now?
In its current form, it's been roughly 9 months, but we're building on top of it. So it started where we moved back to the search, right? And then we added the filters, and then, so we're doing it piece by piece and building it. And then less than a month ago, less than a month ago is when we built out the community. And so then what happens is you have bugs, just when you're on, and then you have to clean the bugs up, meaning oh, wow, when I click this, it doesn't go to where I want it to go.
Right.
So then you have to just fix that. And so we went through all of the beta testing. So that's what, you test it before you do the full release.
Right.
So we did the beta testing, we got bugs out of it, and now we're about to start sharing it, and just in time to help people before the holidays.
Sure. Great timing. Yeah. QA is key. You can do all the great work in the world, but if you don't QA it and make sure the bugs are out of it, then been there, done that.
Yeah.
But all right. So you're getting 6 guests a day for your show. You're running a software company, basically. When do you sleep?
That's the question. David is you've got to think about yourself sometimes. I need to figure that out, be a little bit better about, self-care.
Well, you're in that phase of life. You're kind of in that part of your career where, you just got a lot of neat things going on. So that's a blessing in itself. And you're passionate about all of it. I can hear it in your voice. So what's been the most, you mentioned the 10-year-old this morning, or this recently on your show. Who's been somebody you booked and they just blew your socks off? I mean, from what they were doing, that you would know have ideas going on in this city.
Oh, wow. Oh, I wish I could have, let me think. Because it happens every single day. Every day I'm like, what? Did you see that? Yes, every single day. There's at least one guest that takes me, that I did not know this was happening here.
Wow,
cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, we've had some incredible guests. I mean, from like pro wrestlers to like from the White House to, I mean, NLE Choppa, the rapper, to like, let me think, to Henry Turley, who is like one of the foremost real estate innovators in our community, to Carl Schledwitz. We've had just all kinds of really incredible people.
That's awesome.
And celebrities. We've had Penny Hardaway. He comes on regularly when he has great things to share. And, we have different people who, when, for example, Broadway stars come to town, they're on the show because, Broadway is a pipeline for Broadway. And that's, really exciting. Artists, we have like top artists who, are incredible, and like painting, like everything.
Oh.
And so it's just the world outside of the crime.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have for example, we'll do like a legislative roundup,
Sure.
To just let people know these are some of the big things that, the legislature is about to wrap up. And so we want to make sure about all the big topics that are, here.
Right.
So, we do stuff like that, but we're not talking about necessarily we don't have infighting.
Right.
We so the informative part of it that you need to. So these are things it's a lifestyle, literally, to help you make good decisions about how you run your home, your household. And it's weird because the technology and the show are kind of hand in hand. They kind of go together, and just basically helping people make the best decision they can to, have a well-functioning life.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, we're all looking for that edge because, technology can be good. And so, some of you kind of wonder about, AI is a little scary at the moment. It can be used for good things, obviously, but anyway, it can certainly make your life better. I'm at the age, I'm 62 now, or 63. Good night, 63. And I can remember.
How old am I?
I know. I started my first job in 1985. We didn't have email. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have pagers. And it's funny, back in those days, if you were really important, you had a pager, right? And nobody else did. You always look like, wow, look, he's got a pager. Be at the airport, look, he's got a pager. And but it wasn't long after that, the smart guys, the really important people, didn't have the pagers, and all the worker bees did. So, and then I got my first email, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this email address? What do you do with it? And so I remember those days, but here we come. And then at the end of my career, I had access to every piece of technology there was. I'm not sure I was any more effective, from a day-to-day basis, but yet it feels like you are. I think if you truly measured it, some days I wonder, looking at 150 emails a day, it's like, yeah, I like that maybe I had maybe.
Oh my gosh, the emails, make them stop. I can't.
I know.
Can't.
Email's dying slowly, I think. There's too many other ways to communicate. But, thanks. I want to be cognizant of your time. Just real quick, talk about I know you're real involved in the community with some of the boys and girls clubs around town, things like that. Talk about why you like doing that and what you've been working with.
Well, I did have to, at some point scale back a little because so my workload is so intense. I had to figure out, what can I really do and be effective at? Because I don't like to say yes and then be, just not actually do the work. So right now I'm on 2. I was on 6 boards.
Oh, goodness.
And now I'm on 2.
Oh.
Yeah. And so I'm still with New Memphis Institute and the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis. And the reason why those are attractive to me, New Memphis Institute works to retain talented people in the Memphis area.
Okay.
And so it's putting minds together to, to not just retain, but, to mentor, to be a think tank. And so there are some incredible people in that room that it's really exciting to be part of such a wonderful program in this city. And so I love what New Memphis Institute does, and the people they bring together and the partnerships. And so it's something that's very important for every big city to, that, all like people coming together to figure out how to keep good people here.
Right.
So there's that. And the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis, just so basically what they do is they serve as a hub for nonprofits, where nonprofits can, they even share how to run effective nonprofits, but not just that, they also, the money comes through, there are people who donate, decide, this is how I want to spend the money that I give away. I want the Community Foundation of Greater Memphis to help me decide how I'm going to spend it.
I gotcha.
And so, for a while I was on the Strengthening Nonprofits Committee, where we would help to nonprofits to be the best that they could be. And then they also to disperse money to the nonprofits. And so, we would do not just research, but also do site visits to these nonprofits to, just make sure that, this is what they are, who they say they are. And, your money is worth going here to build this up so that we can make Memphis a better place. But not just that, they also, you might recall when Jeff Bezos's wife, ex-wife, they had kind of, after the divorce, she gave away a ton of money.
Yeah.
And Memphis was one of the cities.
Right.
And the Community Foundation is so respected around the world that they, that she had them, manage the funds, like where should they go? And so, just so you know how incredible this group is. And then when you really think about it, when COVID happened and there were all of these, just so many businesses out of work. For example, the restaurant industry.
Oh, big time.
They dispersed emergency funds to restaurant workers. Just all kinds of. When there is an emergency, and it can be a pandemic, they on a dime, they have a team that is just so brilliant that they respond immediately. And so I just love being in proximity to that, doing really good work to strengthen the community. And so those are the two that I'm on right now. And so it's just been amazing to work beside such incredible people. But I do have my eye on one nonprofit that I've been doing work with, but I couldn't commit full time, but they have kind of reached out, and I really believe in what they're doing. And so I can't really say what it is, but because I haven't I haven't accepted it yet, but I'm looking at another one that is really great. That's a worldwide organization that is here. And so
that'd be awesome. So lastly, I guess, what do you see yourself in 5 years? What do you think where will Kontji Anthony be in 5 years? What will she be doing?
Wow. I'll be doing UDL for sure. I think that that's just so not done. And I feel like, that needs to be, completely, just realized. And I'll just say, TV is gosh, that's my medium. That is my jam. However, you see how, younger people come up and, you open the seat for them to amplify whatever's happening. And, sometimes, you just have to move out of the way for the next generation.
Yeah.
So, I'm 54. I'm trying to think,
you're young.
I don't know how many years I have in TV. So, I just have to see where that goes. But I just know that I love I always love television.
Sure.
And so with TV, it's so you just don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't have guessed you've been here 20 years. So
yeah, that is true.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
I love Live at 9. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. You'll need to check her out live at 9 on WRAG at 9 o'clock every weekday, right? 9 to 10 with
Yes,
5 to
sir.
6 guests. Good night. Like I said, I need to drink whatever you're drinking, man. It's amazing.
It's Memphis water.
Well,
For water,
that's
baby.
the best water in the world.
Yes, it is.
We even can it now, which is kind of cool, you know? That's
As
way
we
cool.
should.
Yeah. Well, anyway, check out our application, yodel.io. And actually, I've got it pulled up right now. I played with it the other day, and it's pretty cool. I was real impressed with like I said, having Walmart and Kroger on there as your two main ones, it looks like at the moment. But I'm going to play with this community feature and see how that works. And just, like I said, I'm a software geek. Yeah, it looks like fun. So get my wife. She's always looking for the best price. So she bounces between Walmart and Kroger. So this will make her life a little easier. So anyway, well, cool. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. You are crazy busy, and I appreciate your time. Thanks for joining us, and we'll hope you have a good week.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
All righty, folks. That was Miss Kontji Anthony. And I knew she was probably busy, but I had no idea she was that busy. 6 guests a day. If I'm 5 days, that's 30 a week with 2 people. That's busy. And I'm running a software company as well. So quite a busy young lady and talented as well. It was really good to visit with her and get to know a little bit more about her. But check her out on Live at 9 on Channel 3 at 9 o'clock in the morning, obviously. Check out her website. It's yodel, YOUDLE.io. Yodel.io. And it's pretty cool. If you want to do a little comparison grocery shopping, visit the community section to set that up. It's all pretty cool. So anyway, thank you guys for listening again this week. Check us out on social media. We're out there, and please share us, like us, give us comments on if you got any idea for any guests that may be a good one for our program. And we will talk at you again next week. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.
Well, we hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Maybe you met a new friend, learned something you didn't know, or just relaxed for a few minutes. We hope you join us next time on Memphis, Mike, and Friends as we look back, look around, and look ahead to all things Memphis. Until then, may God bless you as you travel life's highway.